Hey there, let me tell you a story that'll make you rethink everything you know about the people in your life, and maybe even yourself. It all started with a guy named Ryan. Now Ryan was your typical suburban guy, nice house, solid job, married to his high school sweetheart Jenna. They had a pretty routine life, until that night. So here's the thing about Ryan, he wasn't the suspicious type. He trusted Jenna completely, but lately something had been off. You know that gut feeling you get when things just don't add up? Yeah, he'd been having that feeling for weeks. Jenna had been distant. Her phone always turned face down, unexplained late nights with friends she hadn't mentioned before. But Ryan? He didn't want to be that guy, the paranoid, jealous husband. So he brushed it off. Or at least, he tried to. One night, while Ryan was working late, he got this message from Jenna. "Won't be home tonight, don't wait up." Ryan stared at his phone, no explanation, no follow-up, just that. And for the first time, his gut feeling kicked into overdrive. He knew he shouldn't, but curiosity got the better of him. He decided to track her location using the app they had on their phones for emergencies. She was somewhere across town, at an address he didn't recognize. We've all been there, right? The moment when everything starts spiraling and your mind is racing with a million possibilities. Ryan grabbed his keys and headed out into the night. His heart was pounding the whole drive. He tried to calm himself. Maybe it was nothing, maybe he was overreacting. But when he arrived at the location, it wasn't a restaurant or a friend's place. It was a house. Small, old, and completely out of the way from anywhere they usually went. Now here's where things get weird. He parks across the street trying to stay out of sight and watches the front door. His hands are gripping the steering wheel so tight his knuckles are white. About 10 minutes later the door opens, and there she is, Jenna. But she's not alone. A man steps out with her, someone Ryan's never seen before. They laugh, they talk, and then she kisses him. Yeah, I know. Gut-wrenching. Ryan felt his stomach drop. The whole world around him just stopped. He couldn't move, couldn't breathe. His wife was having an affair, and now he was just sitting there, frozen, watching it happen. But here's where it gets even crazier. The guy walks her to her car, kisses her again, and heads back inside the house. Jenna drives off like nothing's happened. Ryan, still in shock, follows her home at a distance, just to make sure she doesn't know he's on to her. When he gets home, Jenna's already in bed, pretending to be asleep. He stands there for a moment, looking at her, feeling a mix of anger, hurt, and confusion. But instead of confronting her, he decides to wait. He needs to figure out who this guy is first. He needs proof. The next morning, Ryan calls in sick to work. He's on a mission. He drives back to the house from the night before, parks a block away, and waits. Hours pass, and finally the guy from last night leaves the house. Ryan follows him. And where do you think this guy goes? To his house. Ryan slams on the brakes. What the hell is going on? The guy enters the house like he owns it, and Ryan just sits there, staring at his own front door, unable to process what he's seeing. How did this guy get inside? And then Jenna walks out of the house, the same as she did every morning, and kisses this man on the cheek. Ryan's head is spinning. This isn't possible. He's watching from the car, and it's like he's invisible to them. They just go on with their day, his day, like he's not even there. He tries to call Jenna's phone, but it goes straight to voicemail. Something is terribly wrong. Later that day, Ryan decides to confront the man directly. When Jenna leaves, he marches up to the front door of his own house and pounds on it. The door swings open, and there he is. The man standing in Ryan's doorway, staring back at him. But here's the kicker. The guy? He looks exactly like Ryan. Same face, same clothes, same voice. Ryan stumbles back. "Who are you?" he demands, his voice shaking. The man smirks. "I'm you," he says, like it's the most obvious thing in the world. Ryan's mind is unraveling. This has to be some sort of sick joke, right? A twin he never knew about? But the man steps closer, his expression darkening. "You never should have come here," he whispers. And here's where things take a turn you didn't see coming. In a flash, everything becomes clear to Ryan. Memories, or rather fragments of memories, start flooding back. Jenna, the affair, the man, the pieces fall into place. He remembers. It wasn't Jenna who was distant. It wasn't her who was hiding things. It was him. The truth crashes down on Ryan like a wave. He's the stranger. Ryan had been living a double life, one that his mind had conveniently blocked out. That other man wasn't some imposter, it was him. He was the one sneaking around, the one cheating, the one with a secret life. His mind had fractured, creating two versions of himself, each unaware of the other. And now, standing in front of this other version, the truth was too much to handle. As the two Ryans stared each other down, the man smirked again, but this time with a hint of menace. "You don't belong here anymore," he said coldly. And before Ryan could react, the world around him blurred. The house, the man, everything fading into darkness. When Ryan woke up, he was in a cold, sterile room. A nurse stood over him. "Welcome back," she said softly. "You've been out for a while." Ryan looked around, confused. He was in a psychiatric hospital. His mind had been shattered, split in two by years of repression, guilt, and lies. And now, he was left to piece it back together. So you see, sometimes the person you fear the most isn't a stranger at all. It's the person staring back at you in the mirror,